Hi you guys. So I'm filming outside right now because no one can hear me out here besides my neighbors. So I am going to try and put in the work and effort to upload every Tuesday. Wish me luck. But honestly, I do really miss filming and editing and uploading, and it is something that I want to do for the rest of my life if I can. Hope you guys enjoy. My dog is also currently outside. I have to watch him though because he loves to dig holes, and he loves to also eat dog poop. So today I decided that I'm going to be talking about the books that I've read so far this year, and then kind of going like what I'm currently reading and then what I want to read for the rest of the year. I don't know if I'm gonna make it to my goal of reading 35, I think. I've been doing very well with reading. I've only read 11 books and it's August. That's okay. So much pressure in the reading community that you have to read a lot, but I think it's beautiful to slow read and take your time and actually ingest the stuff that you're reading and think about what you're reading instead of just boom, 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 read, and then I feel like you're not really ingesting what you're reading. I don't know. That's just my kind of thoughts. Reading challenges are not that important. What is important is that you find a good book that you like and that you're enjoying what you're reading. I think I've only DNF'd one book this year, and it might be a little bit of a shocker, but we'll get into it. Okay, so the first book that I DNF'd actually, and the first book that I read this month was A Court of Wings and Ruin. Now, let me just preface this with saying, if you're a fantasy reader, I just want to say I bow down to you because I give you so much credit because I just don't think I can do it. And I just feel like fantasy is so complex and over explaining, and I just find it I'm studying for a math test. It's just not enjoyable for me, so I DNF'd it. It is, I think, the biggest book in the series. I don't even know, but I couldn't even tell you what it's about, to be honest, because I read the first two in 2023, and I started the third one the beginning of 2025. So I feel like if I do want to read the third one, I have to reread the first and second, and I just don't want to. So I think I'm done with reading that series. Maybe, I don't know, every time I research, what books to read if you're just getting into fantasy, and it always says ACOTAR, and I just don't think it's that easy to read. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person in the planet that thinks that, but I don't know. I just feel like fantasy is too complex for me. And yeah, so I DNF'd that. The first book that I finished was Flawless by Elsie Silver. The Chestnut Springs series. Everyone knows this series, so I'm not going to go too in depth of it. I gave it 4 stars. And the second book that I read was Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. I really liked this book, but it's about this girl whose best friend gets killed, and she is the number one suspect, but she doesn't know anything that happened that night. And then someone who has a podcast is interviewing everyone, and you kind of see the town side of it, and I really liked reading the podcast episodes because you get a direct interview format. Oh wait, I did DNF 2 books. Sorry. The next book I DNF'd was Beartown by Frederick Bachman. I wish I was in the mindset to read this book, but I'm not. And like, I think this year I don't want to waste time on books that I'm not gonna like enjoy or understand, I guess. Airtown is like a very heavy topic. The next book I read was Insatiable by Lee Rivers. It's the first book in the Edge of Darkness series. All I know is that it's a dark romance, and it's kind of like a childhood friends to lovers a little bit. Rated it, I want to say 3 stars. I don't know if I'm going to finish the series because, again, like, I read that back in, like, March. Then I read The Ladies Midnight Swimming Club by Faith Hogan. I did a blind date with a book from this, like, bookstore that I really, really like. It's so cool in there. But I did it from there. Honestly, I ate this book up. It's basically about these old ladies that go swimming at night. Like, they all just have like a lot going on in their life. One has cancer, one's mom just died, or something like that. And yeah, I rated that 3 stars as well. And then the next book I read was Never Lie by Frida McFadden. This girl goes and is going to go and look at a house that she's looking to buy, and she finds these tapes from the person that lived there before, and she finds out some real creepy stuff. I really like this book. I think I rated it 4 stars. I would recommend this book, actually. It's really good. Then I read Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. And basically this guy writes a Reddit thread about why he named his dog after his roommate or something like that. And how every time he breaks up with someone, or he's like with someone and they break up, they find their soulmate, like the next person that they date, they find their soulmate. Where a girl responds and is like, that same thing happens to me. I rated that 3 stars. Then I read Magnolia Park's Into the Dark by Jessa Hastings. This is the last book in the Magnolia Park series. And I don't know which book is my favorite. I feel like I like Daisy Hates more than Magnolia Parks. But this one I feel like really ended the series good. And again, I liked this one because there wasn't as like much toxic behavior, and it touches on grief a lot, which I really liked. The next book I read was Heartless by Elsie Silver. It's the second book in the Chestnut Spring series. It's nanny trope, grumpy sunshine, all in that realm. And I rated it 4 stars. And then the last book I read was We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I read this book because my sister watched the series, and if you know me, you know that I cannot watch something without reading the book first. So that's what I did. I mainly listened to it on audiobook, but it's a really short book, so it wasn't really like hard to get through. And basically, this girl gets into like a head trauma thing where she doesn't remember like this specific night, and then she goes back to, it's kind of like Martha's Vineyard, like that kind of realm. She goes there to try and remember like what happened. So yeah, those are all the books that I read. Now onto what I'm currently reading. I'm currently reading the 3rd book in the Chestnut Spring series. Yeah, hopefully I'll finish this series by this year. Now on to the books that I want to read for the rest of the year. So I really want to read the Summer I Turned Pretty series. I'm actually definitely going to start that once I finish Powerless. I've just been seeing so many things about it, the show, and again, you know me, I actually had a coworker lend me the books. So I also want to finish the Twilight, or not finish, I want to start the Twilight series. I am obsessed with Twilight. Don't get me started. I'll go on a whole rant, and basically it just gives me a lot of nostalgia. So I want to reread all of the books, including like the Midnight Sun, Love and Life and Death, I think is what it's called. The Untold Story of Brie Tanner. I'm gonna read all of those. So I'm hoping to finish that this year. We'll see. Kyle's mom lended me the 50 Shades of Grey books. So I do want to start those as well. Other than that, I don't really know what else I want to read. Hopefully some fall books, hopefully some Christmas books. I don't know, I do want to read more. But again, I'm taking my time with it because I'm allowed to be leisurely. So yeah, so that's basically it for this video. Sorry I got rushed at the end. I just get really uncomfortable when people hear me talk. So yeah, hopefully more vlogs coming up, hopefully all that jazz. So, but yeah, love you.